Thanks, Darnell. Can y'all hear me now? I gotta do better. I gotta get a better gadget. I gotta do a better gadget or do something. This be blocking my swag and every damn thing. This big mic. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, good. So what I was saying was, if you don't know, now you know. We can all do better because we can. Follow him on Facebook and the YouTube for those who don't know. Which if you don't know who he is, I don't know where y'all been, but hey Simone, hey Mabel, Stacy, Thelma, everybody, Zyva. Hey Deb, hey Debster. This mic even gets in the middle of me eating. Let me see how I can fix this. Oh my gosh. That just looks like I'm this high tech podcaster or big tech person, and I'm not. It's only this. I don't want it to show that much. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Hold on. Mm. Hold on, guys. Let me put my YouTube in because I really want you guys to come over to YouTube. I put my YouTube in the chat. I would appreciate if you guys come over to YouTube. I'm trying to get more traction on my YouTube. I know Facebook be playing too damn much. Mm-hmm. Chantina, Cynthia, Janelle, Darlene, Antoinette, Keisha. Mm-hmm. To be sure, child, you ain't say nothing but a daggone word. Mm. Hey, Catherine, honey child. Hey, Lois, can you guys come over to YouTube? I put the link in here. Y'all know I'm coming to drop some gems, right? I'd like to give value. In anything that I do, I like to give value unless I'm in a sandbox. And even when I'm in a sandbox throwing dirt back, I still like to add some value in there. But I'm trying to refrain from being in a sandbox because why? We can all do better. I'm trying to do better. I think we're all trying to do better. Oh, and yes, thank you so much, Penny. Thank you. And guys, today is Penny Winnie's birthday. Today is Penny's birthday. She is 86 minus 46 plus 3 divided by 2. Thank you so much, Penny. Still working on your band birthday. Yes, Penny. Today is Penny Satterfield's birthday. Today is her birthday. Lisa, I have a contract for you to sign. Stipulated contract. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, today is Penny's birthday. Today is her big day. Happy birthday, my friend. Mm-hmm. Everybody saying happy birthday to Penny. Hey, Tanja. Yes, today is her big day. Mm-hmm. She's not really, but she's not no daggone 80 something. She's 80 something minus 40 plus probably 10 to 15 minus 1.5, something like that. I could be wrong. I'm just making up numbers. Oh no, so he was hard headed and still sent us something. Yep. Guys, the link, the YouTube link is in the chat. I need you guys to come over from Facebook and come over to Facebook to YouTube. I'm done with that. I'm gonna get right on to it, guys. Just a little message. Just a little message. So, thank you. You can't swim. That's okay. You can stay right there. Keep your head above water, sister. Keep your head above water. Stay where it's safe. I'm just encouraging people to come over here. Okay, so this is the message I have. And you guys know I always try to, like I said, I try to give value. I try to drop some gems. I try to give you guys things that you can use. And here's a kicker of it all. The gems that I typically give is is about everyday life. Okay, it's things that I go through, things that everyone goes through. So okay, so this is not pertaining to any specific person. This is totally in general because it needs to be, because it doesn't have to be geared towards any one person. Penny said, "Jump on my back, I got you." Whoever can't swim, jump on Penny's back, she got you. Happy birthday, Penny. Janelle says happy birthday. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Penny. Lisa's daggone in the got her daggone binoculars. Positive network. That's right. Hey, Donna. Yeah, so it's not in pertaining to any particular person or situation. I think we all can relate to this, and I like to give clarity about a lot of things. Okay, things that people typically don't think about when we are going through this thing called life. Now, as you guys can see, my caption is everybody saying happy birthday, happy birthday. That's right. I got almost 200 total in the building. Everybody saying happy birthday to Penny. Wanda McFadden just entered the building. So as you guys can see, my title says When Life Gets Hard. Okay. For many of us, life gets extremely hard. And for you guys who don't know, this is me and my wife. Def support us that. So anyway, because you know I'm the earring queen. So life gets hard for many of us, right? It really, hey, Janita. Life gets hard for many of us, for all of us, every single one of us, right? And sometimes it becomes almost unbearable. And I just want to shed light on why that may be, why life becomes so unbearable for so many of us. One of the things that I have come to understand about when someone gets sick and tired, about being sick and tired, when life gets extremely hard, it's when someone is not living in their true, authentic self. Okay, so when life gets really hard and you find yourself going against the grain, or obstacles always coming at you, or it's a lot of resistance when you're trying to move forward and you're always facing resistance, there's a few factors to that. Okay. Number one, I always say that there's two reasons why things come to you. Number one, it can be the karma, just the balancing of energy. It's not a bad thing. It's just you experiencing what you have done. All right. And the actions that you have portrayed, or it can come to you as a requirement for your growth because you needed a certain situation in order to move you out of one mental phase to another. Okay. To make you stronger, to help you gain or acquire those spiritual attributes that you need in order to be at the next level, or the level that you aspire to, right? um Also, it comes from us not being our authentic self. We have to look into that also. All right. And what I mean is that I don't mean that we're around here on purpose being fake or phony, or perpetrating, or being a fraud. It's not that. A lot of times, life in situations when we can't handle what comes to us, we get thrown off track. And that's what takes us away from being our authentic self. In other words, you're not living. Thank you so much, Penny. Hey, Matrice. In other words, you're not living in the light that you were intended to live in. You're no longer doing the things that really, really genuinely align with your excitement, with your joy, which, by the way, is passion. Excitement is passion, right? And a lot of us are not being led by our passion, which is why we find ourselves on the other end of the spectrum. We wake up on the other side of the fence. Thank you, Claritha. We wake up on the other side of the fence and we find ourselves being unhappy. We find that life gets really hard. We find that there's a lot of energy, emotional drainers in our life that we didn't have in our life at one point when we were doing and being our best and living in our passion and in our excitement. We have to take mental breaks now from the internet because we are so drained by all the drama that's happening on the internet, and we're so drained by everything that's going on, and then we're heartbroken by everything that we see that we're passionate about, where people are being victimized, or whatever that is. We're not living in our authentic self, which means that we are no longer following our passion, our excitement. Because that excitement, by the way, is a spiritual download. Okay. That's what God put into us. That's what our higher consciousness, our higher power puts into us. And when we act on it, we get more of it. But when we don't act on that desire anymore, and we don't act on that excitement that's in us anymore, then that spiritual download is blocked, because it's sort of like the universe saying, well, you're not listening to me anyway. Why am I going to give you more? In order to get those spiritual downloads of excitement, to find out what it is you're actually excited about, to find out what your passion is, to find out what you should be doing, the thing that brings you the most joy, you have to respond to that excitement that is put in you, that energy of excitement that's put in you, because that's God or the universe or your higher power trying to guide you to your purpose. So that way you can begin to manifest the things that you want in your life. Right? It leads you to those things. So when we find ourselves sick and tired of being sick and tired, when we find ourselves emotionally drained, right? When we find ourselves emotionally drained, when we find ourselves, just in a space of complete discomfort, things that we do not prefer, things that make us feel bad, and all those things, that just means that we have gotten out of an alignment with our true nature, which our true nature is joy, excitement. Not to say that things are not going to come against us, but when we're living in our true light, our true authentic self, things that make us feel good and is beneficial to other people, that's when you're aligned. And you're aligned because life becomes good, even with obstacles. You don't experience you don't experience them the same way you would when you're out of alignment. When you're out of alignment, when it rains, it pours. That's how it feels. Thank you so much, Deborah, for 50 stars. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. You're out of alignment, and you're not being yourself. You're just not being yourself. Now, When we make a decision to change our course, we get tired of being sick and tired. We realize that life has been beating us the hell up, and now we realize that we have to let go of some things, primarily belief systems that don't serve us. You have to start changing your thinking. You have to start changing some beliefs, and you have to start doing things differently. Thank you, Patrice. You have to start doing things differently, right? Now, it takes more than the physical part of your life to start changing. But when people really, really been beat down in this life, they tend to be led to go within. In other words, they're like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to start aligning myself. I'm going to start praying more. I'm going to start seeing what God has for me. I'm going to start, I'm going to pray for guidance, right? You want to pray for guidance, right? And so the thing about guidance is that you have to learn to be by yourself, and you have to learn to listen. It's not necessarily meditation, like it's not that. It's you sitting by yourself in the moment and really reflecting on your life and reflecting on the things that you really want in this life, and just being still for a moment. Just being still for a moment. So that way God can speak to you and give you those messages and give you those, that roadmap to getting where you want to go, right? But this is how that transformation look. The transformation looks like this. Whenever we're getting rid of any kind of belief system that no longer serves us, because when you change, you have to stop believing certain things. Also, you have to start changing your thinking, and you start examining your belief system. Well, I'm no longer going to believe that, this is my fate. I'm going to start thinking more positive. Well, when you make a decision to think more positive, that means that belief systems are being changed and transformed. And when you start changing your beliefs, that means you start making a spiritual shift. And when you do that, there's physical components that's attached to that shift that cleanses them old belief systems out of your system. And they come by the way of tears. So if you're the type of person who is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you have been beat up in this life, and you have gone through so much, and you're at a place where you can't even stop yourself from crying, and you're trying to go against the grain, and you're saying, I don't want to cry. I keep on crying. I don't want to cry. I keep on crying. Like I told my friend, tears are silent prayers. Tears is a way that your soul cleanses itself. That's why we cannot control. It's an autoimmune response. It's an auto response. We cannot flip a switch and say, yep, time to cry. Off, nope, time to stop crying. There's no switch to our autoimmune system and our auto responses. Those are things that are left up to our soul, our spirit, which is God. And that's why we don't have to wake up in the morning and turn on the switch to start thinking, or or push a button for our heart to start, or push a button for our lungs to start going. We have no control over those things. So when you when you're trying to stop yourself from crying because you're so tired of crying, you are actually subconsciously, not knowing that you're doing this, you're stopping yourself from healing. You're stopping yourself from transitioning and not transitioning out of life, transitioning, or matter of fact, let me not say transitioning, transforming into into a better version of yourself. And some people cry for days. Some people cry for weeks. And we've been taught that, oh, you shouldn't be crying. You shouldn't be crying. Get your head out of that mind space. You wouldn't cry so much. I always encourage people, damn, if your body says cry, you better cry, because that's your body telling you to daggone cry. That's what it's telling you to do. That's what your soul needs. And I don't care if it takes you a day or a month. Any day that you cry, you are cleansing yourself. And the longer you cry, the longer that stage or that spell is of you crying, days come on, and days and days and days. That just means that you had a lot to get out of you. And that's just a positive reinforcement, or that you are actually changing, that you aspired, you asked for something deep down in your heart. And the only way to get it is for you to be cleansed. So when you make a decision to shift into change, into a different person, or to do better, you are actually letting go of old belief systems that no longer serve you. You're actually trying, hey guys, you're actually trying, hey, Maura and Angela and Donna and India, you're actually, I mean, yeah, India. I still get mixed up with that L and I. You're actually trying to make that transformation, and your soul or your spirit is cleansing it out. There has to be a physical component, a physical response to transformation. And so I say all that to say, do not ever stop yourself from crying. My kids growing up, I used to, especially my daughters, because they're girls and stuff. I had my son first. He wasn't a crier. But one of my daughters would just cry for no reason sometimes. Biscuit's mom, Selena, even when she was a teenager, and I said, like, what's the matter, Selena? And she'll say she don't know. And even I have a picture of her when she was about 16, 17 years old on my lap. I just put her on my lap, big girl, teenager, almost damn an adult. And I just held her and said, you just go ahead and cry. You don't always need a reason. You don't always need a reason to cry. Sometimes that's just your soul grieving, your soul cleansing. You know what I mean? And so here's the thing. When we decide to change, right? Oftentimes, before I get into that, let me get what you guys are saying. Hey guys, hey Brenda. Some people believe that when they cry, it's showing signs of weakness, but it's not. Absolutely. You got that right, Sheena. You are gaining strength. You are being renewed. You are being cleansed with the old stuff so that new stuff can come in. Guys, you got to remember, we are spirit, soul, and body, okay? We are we are a three-dimensional system, just like the earth is a three-dimensional system. We're not just flesh. We have to consider the spiritual processes that we go through. We have to consider our mindset. You know what I mean? That's a spiritual process. Our words have power. Discernment. That's a spiritual process. We don't see with our eyeballs. Our soul uses our eyes as tools to see the physical world. So there's something deeper going on in us, and it's on purpose. It's not an error. But a lot of people have been taught different. I know I've grown up with families, and don't you cry if I'll give you something to cry about. People beat the damn tears out of their damn children. You know what I mean? And having boys believe that it's not safe to cry. Unless you got something to cry about, you shouldn't be crying. And therefore, if I do this, then you have a reason to cry. And so what happens to those boys? They turn out to be men that are so suppressed, and then they turn out to be angry men. And that energy is going to be released one way or the other, sometimes into violence, sometimes into self-harm, all kinds of stuff. All right? My tears has a lot to do with my fear sometimes. Well, listen. Your tears can cleanse can cleanse those fears out of you. That's a spiritual process. Remember, fear is spiritual. It's a mindset. Absolutely. Right. And so here's the thing. Now you guys know that I always say, and thank you for most of you guys being over here on YouTube. I got 57 on Facebook, but that's right. I got a majority of you guys on YouTube. Thank you so much, Clarita. Hey, Carla, honey child. So the other thing is this. When we're making a shift in our life, right? And we have gone through them stages of crying, a lot of that is regret. Our tears are attached to, like, what's the name said? Fears, and also regrets, right? Woulda, shoulda, coulda. What I shouldn't have done, what I should have done, all of these other things. You guys, if you guys know me, and if you don't, I'm going to show you how to best know me by this one quote. There are no accidents. Well, 2 quotes. There are no accidents. 3 quotes. There are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason, and there are no wrong paths. There's no wrong roads. There are no such thing as a bad decision. And let me explain to you guys, for those of you who have never heard that message before, let me explain to you what that means. Thank you so much, Thelma, for your super sticker. I appreciate it, girl. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, Carla, you here on YouTube. All right, honey child, sister girl. There is no such thing as a wrong path, a wrong decision. Now, I know you guys are like, wait a minute, there's a whole lot. Hey, Kimmy Kim, honey child. There are a whole lot of wrong decisions because people shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. And there are some decisions in my life that I have made that I shouldn't have made. I'm going to clear you up on that real quick. Hey, Kathy, honey child, how are you? Replacement journey is healing, ain't no joke. I know. Woo! I know. We got to catch up. I want to call you and see how that's really going. Thank you so much, Debster, for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate it. So, when I say hello, sweet Amanda, honey child, how are you? Okay, let me get back to my message, guys. So when I say that there are no wrong choices, when we are cleansing ourselves, when our soul is saying, okay, you want change, I'm going to give you change, and I'm going to turn on this daggone water fountain in your heart to make you want to cry out, because when a person is changing, there's a physical component that has to demonstrate that change, and what that comes in the form of is tears, and we cry until we can't cry no more. Well, the fears and those wrong words, the fears of our decisions, the belief system that there is a right and wrong decision, absolutely not true. And you know why I say that there's no right and wrong decision? It's because there are only choices. That's it. When we judge it through our physical nature and our physical mind, it's right and wrong. Why? Because we say, okay, this person's going down a road of drugs, and that's bad, because we all know, physically it's bad. It's bad for your health. We already know the end from the beginning, because there's been a million demonstrations of people that's on drugs. So we can know. But is it a bad decision to even try it? I don't mean that we should definitely try all these bad things. I mean, things that we know that are bad for us. What I mean is that when a person makes a choice to do something, whether they're going to rob a store and get caught and do time in jail, whether they're going to drink and drive, or whatever the case may be, whatever their choice is, hey, Roxy, whatever their choice is, okay, there are consequences within every choice. A choice is a path, and it's not wrong, and it has no error in it, because there's a consequence, and consequences are there to teach us and to show us that the way that we are going may not be conducive to the desires that we aspire to. That's all it is. It's not a spanking. No, it's a lesson. And lessons teach us what we really want or what we prefer. So had it not been for that contrast of this decision that made us feel bad or that landed us in a bad place, had it not been for that, we wouldn't have the contrast of what we would prefer in our lives. We wouldn't have the contrast to see, automatically where we prefer to be. So sometimes life teaches us and pushes us into situations. Thank you. Pushes us into situations and causes us to make certain decisions that appear to be bad to the outside world. It causes us to do that because possibly we require that road. We need to learn a lesson in a certain way. When we are not aspiring or making plans to do better in our lives, sometimes it takes crisis, what we consider as crisis, I consider as just choices, what we consider as a so-and-so, quote unquote, wrong decision, to help us aspire to get better, to help us, to help turn us in the right direction. And not even necessarily a right direction, a direction that you prefer, an experience that you prefer. Some people don't have the power of visualization. Some people don't have, they have been beat down so much that they don't even know how to think of a positive and good day. And so things have to happen so that way you can say, damn, this feels bad. I don't even want to be here. What the hell? Well, by you saying that is you actually creating something else. All right. So there are no wrong paths. There's just different ways of learning. Because I say this, within every choice, there's a consequence. Within every consequence is a lesson. Any bad, so-called bad consequence, there's a lesson in that, right? And if it's a lesson to be got out of that, then that means that it's not bad, because lessons are good. So that means that the thing that came to you was needed in order for you to learn. So judging things and saying that they shouldn't have made this choice, this shouldn't have happened. Yeah, we beat ourselves up about that all the time. Damn, I should have never did that. Damn, I should have never did this. Damn, I should have never did that. That's because you have been programmed to think that all your choices are bad. And you've been programmed to think that if it has a bad result, it was bad. No, it's not. Every choice is good, because in every choice, there's something that you can learn. And if you can learn from it, even if it feels bad, that makes it a great choice, because you needed that lesson in order to make an alternative choice now. You needed that lesson in order to do better. So it's not a matter of, well, what she should have done or what he should have done, and, what you should have done, and all these things of what I should have done. No, what you should have done was made the choice that you made, because clearly you needed to learn some things. Clearly, there's a lesson in that choice that you made. And if that choice and if that lesson from that choice that you made leads you to some type of grief, of regret, that was the purpose of that choice. That means it's no longer bad, it's good. Because you needed that. You needed that wake-up call. So I don't believe in bad choices. I honestly don't. I don't care if they drinking and driving and end up happening. Unfortunately, there's casualties of war to everything. But I always say that crisis only happens through change. Change only happens through crisis. There's no such thing as everything going great in your life and you wake up and say, wow, I need to change. No, it doesn't happen. Life makes us change, because we, as humans, is on a path of spiritual development. We're here to play with creation, manage our energy, and have a 3D response from the choices that we make in action, word, or deed. Kathy, hang in there and keep icing. Yeah, it takes time, but yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, well, going back to what I said, and I have my little notes here, that's why I'm looking down. When we are making a shift in our life, there has to be a physical correspondence to our decisions that we made. And that usually comes through way of tears, in order to cleanse us of our old beliefs, in order to cleanse us of things that we're feeling, that emotional response. And when doing so, we have to learn to go within, be still, right? And learn to get those spiritual downloads in regards to guidance. And those spiritual downloads come in the form of excitement. What is excitement? Passion. If you ever want to know what your purpose is, if you ever want to know, hey, Stephanie, if you ever want to know what your purpose is, if you ever want to know what your passion is and you can't really find your passion, all you have to do is look at what excites you. And God, the universe, your higher consciousness will give you downloads of excitement. And this is the problem. Here's the problem when it comes to excitement. And when it comes to spiritual downloads, the reason, and I think I touched on this earlier, the reason why we get blocked is because we don't pay attention to our spiritual downloads. We don't pay attention to that excitement, right? When the universe see that we are not using what it is giving us, it stops giving it to us. Okay? So you go by a beach and you say, I want to go to the beach. And you know that you love, because I love the beach. You know that you love the ocean. It gives you a certain, it makes you feel good. You know, the sand is grounding. Like I love the ocean. Okay. Now, if I love the ocean and I'm living by the ocean as I am right now, it'll be to my discredit or my benefit, or not be to my benefit if I don't follow my excitement and go to the beach and enjoy the thing that absolutely makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel good. If I don't go to the beach when I'm like, damn, I want to go to the beach, and I reject going to the beach, that means I'm not acting on my excitement. That means I'm not acting on my passion. And if I'm not acting on my passion, I'm not being my authentic self. Again, I'm not being my authentic self. And if I'm not being my authentic self, then what happens? Life gets hard. It becomes a life of struggle rather than peace, confusion rather than clarity. Why? Because I'm not living my authentic self. Now, you may think that following your passion, let's say for me, again, it's not only the beach, it's gardening, it's eating watermelons, anything that makes me happy. You may say that's not productive. That's not going to get me where I got to go. Well, you don't know what that path will take you to. You don't know. Your job, our job, is to only follow our passion, follow that excitement. Because if you're feeling a moment of excitement, that's actually God speaking to you. That's your higher power speaking to you, saying, this is the thing that you love. Follow this. And it's like a roadmap. Okay, I'm going to go to the beach. Okay, I'm going to plant some watermelons. Okay, I'm going to eat some watermelons. Oh my God, I'm going to sit in the sun because I just love the sun. Whatever that is, it may seem like it's not productive to you. But what happens is when you start following your passion, that excitement, even at them small little turns, those little roadmaps will lead you right to where you have to go. Because in order for you to get the things that you have been trying to get out of life, in order for you to even live the life that you've been wanting to live, and you were unable to manifest it, those moments of excitement and following your joy, you will actually be led to it. You see? So what we feel like, well, if it don't line up with this, where I can't align my actions with it, and see the end from the beginning, what's the purpose of going to the beach? That's just fun. I need to work. No. Following your excitement. I always say, find your joy and let it lead you. And even if the pathway seems insignificant to you, does not mean that it's insignificant. Life happens in pennies. Success happens in pennies, and we have to consider it all. And so if you're not listening to those spiritual downloads, it's going to be cut off. When you start acting on those spiritual downloads, on your excitement, I don't care how small it is. I don't care if it's like, well, damn, I want to go watch Columbo because I love watching Columbo. That doesn't mean that I'm not being productive. You don't know what that excitement is going to lead to, because it takes excitement to even get anything in this life. That's valuable anyway. That's good. Not valuable, because good and bad is valuable. That's good. You have to be excited. Excitement is passion. So if you don't know what your passion is, follow your excitement. If you think that there's no money in that, it doesn't mean that's where the money is at. Your excitement will lead you to something. And your life will begin to unfold and manifest in ways that you have never, ever imagined, because it has nothing to do with you. Or your job is only to be happy. So if you want more spiritual downloads, follow those moments of passion, those little moments of excitement, those things that just make you happy. Now, it can't be pizza and pig's feet, okay, guys, because we know that that's not healthy, right? Can't say, well, I love eating cake, so let me keep eating cake. No. When you eat a piece of cake, in moderation, of course, really eat the cake and enjoy it. Eat it and enjoy it. Savor it all in your mouth. Emotionally and visually and mentally think about how it feels to even be ingesting such a wonderful piece of cake. And that's your excitement, but don't overdo it, is what I'm saying. Yes, everything is good choices because eventually we learn. Turn around and do something again, then you'll be in trouble again and decide that's called hard-headedness. That's all. That's bumping your head. Every test failed is a promotion denied. You cannot pass go. You cannot collect $200. You get to start all over again. Haven't you played Monopoly and Sorry and all that stuff? That's how life is. That's how life is. Starting over again. Starting over again. That's how, I mean, listen, that's what children are, right? Children, the reason why they're deemed children is because they're hard-headed, or their frontal lobe is not developed enough for them to actually grasp what we're trying to, teach them. So they keep putting their hands in the fire. They keep on doing things. They keep on taking risks. Nothing good will come out. Well, people need a knock in the head sometimes. They need a little push. Some people need to learn for themselves. So there's examples here. You have a good choice or so-called good choice, and you have a so-called bad choice. And again, for me, there's no good or bad. It's just choices, because every choice will lead you to an answer, and every choice will teach you something or give you something. So that means within every choice, there is something good to get out of it, and Sheridan, that's the whole reason why a lot of celebrities, that's the whole reason why a lot of celebrities, or even not even celebrities, probably even you or people that have been through the hell and back through the choices that they made. They created a life that was jacked up. And then you'll ask them once they become successful, well, would you change anything about your past? They'll say, hell no. Why? Because had I not did that, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be where I am. You see what I'm saying? So what I mean to portray in this, just in case, because clearly you missed it, is this: we cannot discount our choices, because our choices, we cannot discount them. We cannot invalidate them, because our choices are the stepping stones to success. Had we not made those mistakes, we would not be here. We have to go there in order to get here. So whatever choice we made, good, bad, or indifferent, it's a choice that needed to be made. There should be no regret in that choice. Even if you knew better, clearly you had to make the choice again to really know better to get out of that position that you're in. And if you have arrived at a certain place now to where now you understand, now you get it, now true transformation is going to take place, then how do you invalidate the so-called bad choices that you made? Those bad choices was the ladder that got you here. You see what I'm saying? So either you're jumping to the top like a damn kangaroo, which none of us do, or we have to go through these steps. And sometimes we go backwards. But do we invalidate the steps going backwards? Do we invalidate our so-called failures? No. Because had I not failed, I wouldn't know a different way. Had I not failed 5 times, I didn't, a lot, you know what? A lot of people don't realize that they make the same mistake every time because it looks different. They, you may make a so-called wrong choice in a relationship, and people are saying, up there you go. There you go. You don't love yourself because you got this toxic relationship. You always end up in this toxic relationship. And then you get another relationship with a different guy. He's from somewhere else and he treats you better in the beginning. And then it ends up bad. Oh, nope. So you always end up in those relationships. That's the same lesson reoccurring in different people. Haven't you ever heard of people that do that? In different people. It's because life has a way of tricking us. We think this person is toxic, and then we get with another person, they end up being toxic, but they're different toxic. They're an alcoholic toxic. And then we get another person, they're different toxic. They're freaking um a narcissist toxic. But it's the same behavior in different people. So in order for a woman to make a right, or a person to make a right choice in a relationship, you cannot discount or invalidate your bad choices and deem them as wrong. They were not wrong because they taught you something, because they brought you to a place where you now realize, even if it was 20 of them, who's to say, where there's a requirement on how many times you got to go through something before you learn. That's a human stipulation. That's not a spiritual stipulation. The spiritual component says every test fails, a promotion denied. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You have to go to jail for 30 days. You have to suffer. And then when you come out, then you come start back over, roll them dice and see how we're going to go from there. Woo! Hey. Ask yourself that. Unless you are a perfect specimen of a being, which we know that's not true, right? Because none of us are. Why? Because we can all do better. Ask yourself that. Have your lessons in life, and it depends on how old you are. I'm hoping you're an adult, because any adult, you should be able to say whether or not you learned all your lessons the first time. If you have learned every lesson the first time, Sheridan, put your hand up and let me know. I'm going to start there. Have you learned every lesson the first time? Have you ever been in a bad relationship and that person treats you bad one time and then you left? You never had a bad relationship because you left? Let's just start there. We know it hurts, but some people take chances. Some people are delusional. Some people, are dreamers. They think that because, yes, this person hit them and this person's hitting them too, but this person has more potential than that person, and I'm going to fix this person. I'm going to cause this person. Some people think that they can fix the person that they with. Some people think that they can do the same thing and get a different and get a different result. How many people do you know that do that? They do the same thing and expect different results. And you're like, that's insanity. The face of insanity is a person that does the same thing and expect different results. So yeah, people take chances, Sheridan. That's just simple as that. Mm-hmm. Hey, Susan. Sharon said, you have opened my eyes about a lot of things. I would love to talk to you in private. I have a lot of questions. Well, the only way to speak to me in private is if you really want coaching. And if you really want coaching, then you go to my website and sign up for a free 30-minute, which is really an hour consultation. Other than that, you have to get these gems that I'm giving you online. And if you want to participate, if you want to come up online on my live stream and ask some really good questions that you need clarity on, I'll be happy to do that online. But private conversations, I can't. I'm sorry, I don't have time. A lot of people inbox me about private things that they're going through, and I just don't have the time to do that. I try to come on live and do and give you what I have. And once my live is over, then the information ends at that point. So I would love to talk to you about other things. You would just have to sign up for a free consultation, and that's a guided consultation. It's not a space where you just talk. I lead it and I ask certain clarifying questions to get the gist of whatever you're going through. And then, I send you a what do you call it? Gosh, I forget the word. Proposal for coaching. But I appreciate that you get something from me. I'm glad that you do, and I'm happy that you do. So you can always just ask your questions in the chat, or you can come up on the panel and ask me questions. Mm-hmm. Hey, Camila. Hey, Montana. And then you like when I say that, and then you know what? My uncle, he passed away earlier this year. He was like a father to me, although I have my father. My uncle Fonzo, he did that since I was little. The way he talked, and my brother did it too. My brother Jamie, before he passed away, I guess he got it from my uncle. He'd be like, and then now I stretch it out and be like, and then, but my uncle would be like, then. So that's where I get that from. I got that from my uncle. Rest in peace. Your tears are relief of pain, says Cynthia. They are expressions of the things you cannot control. That part. You are releasing all of the sorrows and grief. Right. That was perfect. Absolutely. You guys like and share my live. I have almost 200 on here between Facebook and YouTube. I asked most people to come over here to YouTube. That's why I have so little on Facebook. Now it's at 72. But like and share this live, please. Hey, Gloria. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, there are oh, thank you so much, Landy. I appreciate it. So there are definitely no wrong choices. And in order for, and again, just to recap for those who just came in, the reason why life gets really hard for all of us is because we are not living on our authentic self. We have to live our authentic self. That means doing the things that make you feel good. That means acting on your excitement. Your excitement is your passion. When we are living our true selves, we are acting on our excitement. We are doing only the things that make us feel good. And I don't mean just only, because of course life will take us off course. We get distracted and play with people's negative energy and go clapping back and all these other things that we do on the internet and all in this world and whatnot, arguing with people, road rage, or whatever the case may be. But your primary mental atmosphere, mental state should primarily be you either thinking about the things that make you feel good or acting on the things that make you feel good. Because when you get that thing in your heart that says, ooh, I like that, or that excitement, that's actually God telling you what your passion is. He's showing it to you, but you have to act on it. You have to act on it. Okay? Because knowledge is nothing without the application principle, without applying the primary principle of action. You can know something, but you have to act on it. And when you act on it, that means you're taking something from up there and saying, thank you, I got it, and now I'm acting on it. And when you act on it, then things start to turn out good for you. Your life starts to take a different shift, Hey, Billy. Thank you so much, Landy. So remember, guys, if you feel like crying, I don't care if you're crying for 10 days. Don't ever think that crying is wrong. Crying is never wrong. I don't care if you spend 30 days crying. That's clearly what your body needs. That's clearly what your soul is trying to cleanse out of your body. That means that change is about to take place. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Trisha, how you doing? Yes, it's Penny Wenny's birthday. So if you guys don't have no questions, I'm going to wrap this up. Oh, we're doing wonderful. I just got back home yesterday from spending about 2 weeks with my mom, loving on my mom, making sure that she's well taken care of. Love my mom. So that's what I was doing. And now I'm here for about another 2 weeks before I go back. I was supposed to stay a little bit longer, but that didn't pan out. That didn't pan out. Billy says, hey, Thelma. Trina saying happy birthday. Thank you. Oh, guys, I think in order for you to comment, you did have to subscribe. Yeah. So for Facebook users, if you have not subscribed to my Facebook, to my YouTube channel, please do so. I'll put the link in the comments. I'll put the link in the comments. Mm-hmm. Oops. Let me put it over here because I'll put it in here. Paste. There we go. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I shall see you guys on my next live. It took everything in me to come on live today, by the way. It's just that time was running out. I have so many things to do. I'm still in the copy editing process of this book. I'm rushing to get that complete. And the more I rush, the more delayed I am. Like, it's just crazy. Rushing you can't rush with anything. But just really trying to just push that through. I have to go to Costco's. I'm going to Costco's as soon as I get off of this live. I'm going to Costco's. I am great, Jeannie. Jeannie, how are you? Oh, you're welcome, Aurelia. You guys got some awesome names. You guys got some awesome names. Yes. I am the gift that keeps on giving. My goal and my purpose in life. You know what? Do you guys know? Can you guys guess what brings me joy? What brings me excitement? Can you guys guess what my spark is? Can you guys guess what my spark is? I'm going to wait for somebody to answer before I hang up. Can you guys guess what my spark is? Hey, Cheryl, my girl, honey child, sister girl. Catch the replay. Cassandra said peace. No, that's an aim. That's good, but that's a goal. That's not my spark. A spark is different. Yes, my spark is helping others, encouraging everybody and spreading. Absolutely. That's my spark. And you know how you know your spark? You say to yourself, if I had all the money in the world and did everything that I can possibly do on this earth, what is the one thing that I would want to do that I could do for free? Live your life with is when your spark probably is when we leave or live your life with more knowledge than we came in with. Ciao. Yes, that's a purpose. That's a purpose. That's a purpose. My spark is knowledge. My spark is relieving human suffering, giving people clarity in order for them to have a smoother ride in this thing called life. That's the thing that I would do for free, having all the money in the world. I would still write my books and I would still be doing this right here because this is what I love to do. This is what I love to do. I love giving you guys something to think about. I love giving you guys a different, an alternative perspective in order for you to have a more peaceful life. I love to point out, distorted thinking patterns that put us in a place of discomfort. Sharing life lessons with others. That's right. Yep. My cousin said, "Do you do for free? Overstood. You are a torchlight." Thank you, cousin. Yeah. So all you guys are right. Yes, I love helping people with this thing called life. I love helping people understand life, death, and everything in between. That's my spark. My spark is bringing clarity, understanding, and wisdom to this thing called life. And I can do it, and I would do it if I was a gazillionaire. I would do it more. And that's how you would know your spark, just in case you don't know what your spark is. Ask yourself, what is the one thing that you would do for free, given all the money in the world? And really think about it. Don't be saying, yeah, if I become a multimillionaire, this is what I'm going to do. No, you got to really think about it, because when you really think about it, it's a hard decision. It's a hard question. It shouldn't come easy. It shouldn't come easy. It took me a while to come up with this, because I have so many things that I love. I love to travel and see the world. I love to, I mean, I love a lot of things. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of it all, and you say to yourself, I had all the money in the world, what would I want to do for the rest of my life? I don't care if that's knitting hats for people, for to keep people with cancer their head warm. It could be that. It can be knitting clothes, giving clothes to people, helping feed people, like Carmen's passion is. That's what lights her fire. That's her spark. It could be anything. But I know one thing, you got to think about it, because if the answer comes quick to you, you ain't thought about it, not unless you've been thinking about it. But if it's something that you just started considering and you come up with an answer today, it's not a real answer. It's not. Trust me. You know how you know it's not a real answer? You want to know how you know? If you were granted one major wish today, and there was a genie in a bottle, and they says your wish is my command, you can have any one thing today. One thing. What would it be? Would it be traveling around the world? Would it be that expensive dream car? Would it be that beautiful house on a lake with acres? What would it be? Because whatever it is, it should align with the needs of others. It should be of service, because when we are of service, that's our biggest light. That promotes growth. That promotes love. And we all know that when we're helping someone else, we feel 1,000 times better. But to what capacity? In what capacity? Yes, it comes as your natural gift. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yep. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here, guys, because I gotta go to Costco's, and I have to get my life. And I've been having a busy 2 weeks. Hey, Nicole, honey, child, sister girl, coming in at the damn 11th hour. Since I was a little girl, I've always loved children. I said if I was to ever come into lots of money, I would take in children. There you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You just want your grandkids to be happy. Okay, what would make your grandkids happy? What would make your grandkids happy? Kids are simple. But anyway, guys, let me go. Thank you guys so much, because I can be here forever and I really got to go. All right. Really got to go. I started and I did adopt one so far. All right. There you go, girl. Living in your spark and your passion and your light and your torch. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace, love, and light. Peace.